Okay, we're recording. Yes. Okay, perfect. Go back here. Unpause. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Second City. And today, I want to continue working on this kind of general area of what is currently called Orson Farms, but Concierge Hades gave a comment that we should name it maybe Orson Estates or Orson Hill, and I like Orson Hill a lot, so I think let's name this Orson Hill. Let's save the word estates for the next place we're going to be building. Now, I do realize that in naming this Orson Hill, all of the things connected to Orson Hill need to be properly named. Orson Hill Post Office, Orson Farms Elementary School, which how's it doing? It's getting pretty tight. I might go ahead and just give this an upgrade. I can place it without destroying anything. How many more students do we get here? Another 150? Yeah, let's just do it, just so that we don't have to worry about it in the future, because I'll forget. And we also have the parish church. Okay, that's our cemetery. So in this here, Orson Hill, not Orson Farms. Okay, now we have everything here renamed Orson Hill. Let's turn anarchy back off. I want today to go ahead and purchase these 2 tiles. Just right off the bat. What I want to do is, and I've never done this before, but we're going to try. We have autosave. We have a high school here kind of facing this direction. We've got this angular road here, which is kind of changing up our grid a bit. And we started in the last part to do some larger homes kind of over here. Now, they're still pretty close together. It's still dense, but some of these are like pretty decently sized buildings. I mean, look at this guy right here. Like, that's a house. Watch out. That's a house. So what I want to do, I want to see if we can do something like this. I'm going to put up a picture on screen. This is a golf course that I found, and it's got neighborhoods kind of woven throughout. I want to see if I can do something similar. Now, bear with me because I've never tried something like this, but I think I want to try to build a golf course kind of in this area and begin to then further send down the density of our housing. So all of this here can still stay super dense, but then we'll have some kind of golf course just to break things up a little bit. So let's see if we can figure this out. All right, so like in looking at my reference picture, it does look like there's like a clear entrance that kind of weaves through everything and then connects elsewhere. So I think what I want to do, and I'm going to turn on both trees and grass for this. Let's go ahead and upgrade this guy with trees and grass. And then we're going to use the continuous curve for the rest of this. So I'm going to send this kind of up and around. Maybe we'll, for the moment, use the side of these power lines and just get something to kind of connect all the way around and over. And maybe let's pick one that goes all the way through. This road here goes all the way through. This one here goes all the way through. I wouldn't mind using this guy here. What we'll do, we'll go straight. Can I just like kind of bring it in like that? I can. Let's do that. So there's kind of like our initial windy road. So I think that what's going to happen is we're going to have golf courses kind of on both sides of this road if I can figure out how to do this in the way I'm envisioning it. All right, let's turn off grass and trees, and let's go ahead and just send this straight on out from here and connect right up into here. That feels like a natural endpoint there. So we're going to kind of focus on this section. I'm going to go ahead and move these power lines further away. What do I want to do with them? I do kind of want to have them involved in the area, but then again, we're starting to get enough density here that I think I might be comfortable just having them go underground. Like, what if we were to send a power line along here, send it up to this point here. Actually, let's go ahead and just put it underground from here. We will go along here, and then we're going to kind of loosely go underneath of this road. Now what we can do is we can get rid of basically this whole line from here all the way to here for sure. Pause. I just messed something up. Hold on. No, I went too far. Get rid of this underground piece. Oh, and this underground piece. Okay. And then over here, The power is going to course down through there, but then it needs to come out again. It can still be elevated over here for now. That's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so now the power should just be going underneath this road. Let's see if I've done that correctly. There we go. Power's moving. It's headed over here. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is figure out how we're going to build this out. So I think what I want to do is I definitely want to have some sections of golf course kind of right along the side of the road with just a line of trees protecting them. And I was looking through some of the unique buildings, and I think I want to use, let's see if I can find it now that I'm looking for it. Here we go. The Oasis Kitchen, a restaurant featuring authentic Latin flavors and a cozy spot for brunch or coffee breaks where tradition meets relaxation, making it the perfect place to enjoy a delicious meal. Now, I don't really care about the description all that much. This just looks kind of like the type of building I would want in the kind of entrance, like the clubhouse, if you will, of our area. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it a little bit further back, like about here-ish. And we can easily move it because it doesn't cost me anything to place this. So if this is kind of like the clubhouse, now that I'm seeing it, I immediately want to change it. I want to send it so that it's kind of facing this way. What if I just rotate it right on top of the plot it was already on? Yeah. You're going to come off this road. You'll come over and around and in. Okay. Let's see if we can make this look decent. I'm thinking we use an alleyway, right? We send the alleyway. We definitely have an alleyway come along the side here. And when you get closer, you're going to want to go nice and slow. So I'm going to want to make sure that we have a nice sharp turn. But before you get all the way over, we are going to want you to turn. So maybe we'll make it a slightly more curved turn. And then I think when we get up here, let's get crazy. Let's do this. Let's curve this. Can we make this work? If I go like this, and I go like this. Yes. There we go. So there's our entrance kind of driveway. Now we need parking here. And we are going to try to use these parking roads. I think I'm going to use the parking alleys. Hold on. Let's get the right thing in here. We don't need any of these. Ooh, but divided. Divided would allow me to put trees in the middle. Let me just look at that real quick. If I did that and we were to place trees, would they go in the center? They would. They would. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. I think what's going to help us is having kind of a boundary here, and I want to have a row of trees for sure. I think I want to have 2 sections for trees. So we're going to put a straight path here. We'll go just like this. So like this kind of general section will be the parking lot. And even this, actually, I think we can change that. This can match how we have that set up. If this were to come out here and go just like this, bam. All right, then we can get rid of this little nub. We don't need this. So then this area will be parking lot. All right, now how do we want to do this? The problem with this is it's just so big. It takes up a ton of space. Whereas if I do the parking alley, it's a little bit smaller. It's not a ton smaller, but it is smaller. Let's just try this out. If we put one guy there, we put another here. I think I'm going to turn off some of the snap twos. And I guess in post, I can always come back and use move it to just make all this look perfect. I would definitely want parking along right here. And maybe this is like a grassy section. Once we put in surfaces and all, I think it's going to go a long way. All right, let's move this and this and this. And we're just going to slightly nudge it to the side so that the space in between the lanes kind of matches. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Okay. I'm not yet going to come back in detail just yet. I'm going to just figure out where everything goes, and then we can start detailing. Now, you're definitely going to want to have a initial hole off of the entrance. Now, keep in mind, I do not play golf, so I don't know. We're just going to figure this out. I think what we're going to do If this is this big, I think we could have a golf course or golf hole that goes around, like maybe around the side here. Like, let's say we do this. Let me just see how this is going to go. Okay, the problem we're going to have is you can't place surfaces on top of surfaces. Now, can I place sand on top and still see it? Oh, I can. Okay. So I think that's going to be the first hole. I wonder if there's like... Is it like a flag post? Flagpole 2, flagpole commercial, flagpole 2 commercial. Those go on the side of buildings. Here we go. Sport park flag. Let's go ahead and favorite that. That's going to be useful. We're going to place the sport flag there. Once we place trees around this is really going to help it come to life, but I think that's kind of like our first one. Now, I'm going to use sand as both the demarcation for where the ending is. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to use sand solely as an obstacle. And kind of around the pole, we're going to place a little surface. So there's the end hole you're trying to get to, or maybe your start. No, that's where you end. That's the ending. You're going to get over to there. Let's also go ahead. I mean, it's the first hole, so we're just going to have one little obstacle. Okay. So this would kind of be your starting section, and then you'd work your way over to here, which then would mean I'd want to send the golf kind of this direction, right, over here. So if we were to do that, I think we would just kind of start right about here, give us a little bit more space. Let's see how this guy works. I mean, is this how this works in real life? I have no idea. All right, right up here is definitely going to be an obstacle. Like, is this easy or hard? I don't know. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think we're even going to get crazy here. We're going to have another one right there. And we'll do one kind of right here. Not that anyone would ever hit it over this way. But to make it even more difficult for you to reach the center there. All right, then we're going to do just a little tiny section to mark the ending. Bam. So you got one and you have two. Perfect. All right, so now that we have two, kind of start getting a sense of the scale here. I'm also going to, you know what, while we're here, let me just erase all of the trees that are in here. I don't want any trees kind of in this section for now. We are going to come back. We're going to place a ton of trees ourselves, but let's just remove this. So I'm not dealing with it. And maybe we're not putting the golf course on both sides of this road. We'll see. I imagine they will get a little bit longer as we go. We only have 2. We need to get 16 more. And although it's a funky shape, I can see that being useful for when we do kind of our little roads here. Now, for the neighborhood in here, they're all going to be alley roads. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't want to have people have like the large sidewalks. Or is the alley a terrible idea? Because I can't put trees on it. But if I put trees around the houses, it's going to look great. So I say, let's do it. Now, with a neighborhood like this, it's kind of private, right? So you're going to drive up, but you wouldn't be able to see in. Ideally would be the goal. So we're going to send you up this way. And then we'll send this over like so. And then we'll do another straight line here. Off of this straight line would maybe go a set of houses here facing this way. And we'll have a few houses here facing this way. Let's definitely give all of these little roundabouts with trees. Right? Okay. And then hold the phone. Waterfront American style. We're doing single family homes. We do have the architect's mansion and the industry mogul's mansion. How do we unlock those? Hold on. Industry mogul's mansion. 25,000 cells. 10,000 cells. 2,500 cells. I don't know if we're ever going to get that many, but we can dream. I only want these to be level 3 or above. And I think here at the beginning, they would be a little bit smaller. These will be a little bit tinier. They kind of all, in some way, they match a little bit, which I like. 3x3 is already getting a little bit too big for my britches. We'll place one here, and then we'll also do a 2x4 over here. Okay. Then along this road, maybe we will go up into the 3s. We'll place one here. It's like that. So there's like this little pocket of neighborhood. What do we think? I think with trees and with us like seeing the full scope, these all being a little different is not going to matter. Some golf courses, all the houses look the same. I don't necessarily know if I want to do that. I don't know if I have the patience. Not because like I wouldn't, but I just don't think I have the patience for it. So this is what we'll start with. So the first little pocket neighborhood. Then we need to bring the golf course kind of over this way and send it around. So let's build our third hole here. We're going to go, I think we're going to fill this whole area and maybe like angle up. Okay. So it's like a sharp bend you have to get around. So you definitely have to do 2 hits for this. Now we're going to make, I think this area here, sand. And I think what we'll do is when you turn this corner, you're trying to go there. So we're going to do a little segment of sand right in the way of where you have to get the final piece. All right, let's make our little circle. There we go. There's the third hole. So you got 1, 2. It's already starting to get a little bit bigger. Now, I also think we got to consider where there would be some type of nature. But first, if this is the third hole, let's do the fourth hole going back this way, and then we'll consider what the nature looks like. All right, so now we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'd have trees all the way through here, right? But then that gives me this opportunity here to turn this into another neighborhood. So let's go ahead and figure out how that's going to work. Because if that's 4, we could have a pond of some kind or something here. You'd walk around. 5 can come over this way. This can all be neighborhoods. 6, 7, 8, 9. What if we just do 9? If that's already 4... No, I want 18. I think I do want 18. We're just going to have to do it. All right, let's put in a little straight piece here. Turn anarchy off. We don't need anarchy on for this. I think we're going to do continuous with this. It won't be curves the whole time, but there will be significant curves. And maybe this will come out and go like this. And then this can come maybe over here like that. I kind of want to redo that though. Regular bulldozer. Let's do it like this. Much better, much better. Now the real question is, do we upgrade this into being a little roundabout? I think we do. Yeah, I think we totally do. All right, houses. Let's do a 3-3. Maybe right here. We'll do a 3-4 across the street, but a little offset. We can also do a 3-5 this way, or we'll do a 3-5 maybe right here. And then we'll do one more here. I think that's it. I think that's all it will be right there. Just a few. With a few trees here. No, you know what? Let's do one of these 2-2s. There we go. There we go. All right, so we have a second neighborhood there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I want to do is figure out where 5 goes. I was thinking we would have some kind of pond, like in this general area. Let's see if we can make that happen, because I feel like this might be quite difficult to do. All right, let's shift the terrain down a little bit. Let's reduce the size down to 40. Let's grab this height. And let's just finesse the sides so it's not such a perfect circle. And then let's go even further down with this and just give a little bit more detail on each side here. Okay, and now let's see. Groundwater resource. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this guy. I want lake, constant water level. Right-click to designate the water surface level. It's going to be too much. Let's go to that dark line there. How does that look? Oh, it's right on the edge. Let's go to this line here. It's pretty good. I think we're going to do that. All right. So we're getting our first little pond in here. I think we'll probably have a second as well. We may actually come over here and do even more this way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our pond filling in. Then we need to do 5. So I think 5 will be over this way. And 5 could also be kind of a like L shape, if you will. Oh, you know what? Here. 5 will go like this, right? Where you're like, oh, I can't possibly get through that. But there will be a narrow little section here that you can bypass. Yeah. So you can go this way, or you could shoot right through here, but this will be quite treacherous. So let's see. If I have some sand kind of all along this edge, right? A few little sand pits there. And then I'll also place a little sand pit around this back corner here. I tried to place the mowed grass over top of the unmowed grass, and unfortunately you can't see it. So the mowed grass is underneath of this guy. And you can see it right now because I'm in the surface menu, but when you get out, it disappears. So unfortunately, we're not going to have mowed grass, but that's okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we could probably get away with a second pond, right? If we do another pond here, it could be quite small. We could do 6 around the edge. 7 could somehow incorporate this, or this could be trees. Then we'd have 8, 9. I guess you do want to kind of end up back over here. So then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I put a pond here, then 6 can wrap around this curve. So I think that's what we're going to do. Let's just make it small. It does not need to be very large. Turn anarchy off. Let's shift the terrain. Let's make it size 50. A little bit lower than I want, but we'll come up to about here. And we'll go like this. And then we're going to smooth out kind of the whole edge. Oh, yeah, like this, like this. Here we go. Then if I right click here, is that going to spill out? That's my fear, is that it's just going to overflow. It's not going to be a big pond, but it will be a pond. Okay. With that, then we come back in here with our surface. We do number 6. And maybe 6 will just be easy. There won't be any sand in 6, although it looks boring without it. So there'll be a little bit of sand in 6. Makes me think of, I don't know if anyone ever played the old Sims, Sid Meier's golf course building game. That was so good. Okay, so we've got 6 holes now. The 7th hole, I guess we could really make a small 7th one here and then send 8 down this way. And then do 9 this way, have room for more development. Right? Or what if there's a neighborhood here and 7 just goes along this? All right, let's do that actually, because then we'll have a road come in here. It'll loop past that little pond. 7 can just be a long drive. So there's 7. And from above, looks pretty good. It definitely gives us something different. I hope they add golf courses as a part of the game, because that would be amazing. Now we could bring in a neighborhood here. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I'm just kind of internally debating if that's what I want to do. I think it is. Let's grab from right here. Send this kind of straight on up. rotate, send it straight on over, rotate. Yep. And that is going to be a cul-de-sac. It's going to stay that way. Oh, well. Now, this is 3. What if I do 3 by 3? We place 2 of those together, but then we start getting into some larger ones if we can. I don't know if they'll all at all fit. Boom. So now we have another neighborhood tucked in there. So we have got 7 holes. The 8th hole, I mean, this right here could just easily be another neighborhood. So the 8th hole could go here with the 9th hole being here. Let's make like an S-shaped one. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. If I was to go like this, we could send this over this way and then send it back around. It would be so obnoxious to do this, but once there's trees in the middle, I think that would look great. And then we'll give you a big wide turn here so you've got room. You're going to be trying to hit it really straight through to here, 1 and then 2. So we're going to want to have obstacles in those spaces to make that harder. So if this is kind of the general space you're going towards, this is going to get a sand pit. If you're going to try to be subtle about it, we'll put another sand pit here, but smaller, but to kind of make it a bit more interesting. Let's go ahead and make our little hole-in-one over there. You would never get a hole-in-one in this, though. Although, we could do something like this. Right? It's going to be real thin. I'll put trees along both sides, and if you want to try it, go for it. Very unlikely you'll get it, but whatever. All right, so that gives us 8. Then we need the 9th. So the 9th bottom half will end over here by our anchor street. There we go. Hole number 9. A little bit of a tough one. All right, we have 9 holes. I think for now, I'm going to leave it at 9. If we want to do the other 9, you tell me in the comments, do we do another 9 around here? Because this is getting pretty large. Or do we do the other 9 somewhere else and bring in another golf course into the build? Which we could also definitely do. With this, though, I think I now need to do some just general detailing. Let's go ahead and see. If I go like this and I go to surface. No, I can't delete the road surface. So then let's grab, is it road 1 that I want? Yeah, I think it is. Delete surface. Let's go ahead and place road 1 underneath all of this. This will all be parking lot. Bam, bam, bam. We got a lot of people coming over to here, which is great. Let's go ahead and extend this. Good enough. All right, so now we've got all of that grass there. Then I think all along this front here is going to be mowed grass. I don't love that people are walking over here, but I'm not going to be able to stop them from doing that, so just let it be. And I think we're close to a trolley line, which is great. All right, so all of this here is going to be mowed, at least up until about here. When we then get into the neighborhood. Right? Okay, let's bring this all the way down this way. One thing that I think I've talked about in other episodes is I'm not very good with just leaving things empty. So I'm trying to challenge myself with some more open space. Now I'm going to put different trees in here. There will be a few trees. It's not going to be totally empty. But we'll have that. Then I think in this section here, can I, without anarchy, place... No, I can't. But can I just go ahead and place this on my own? Like, say I want to have some grass in here. Is that going to work? Should have done that first. No, it's going to show up underneath. Okay, so then hold on. Move this over to here. Move this over to here. Turn anarchy back off. Make sure we're snapping to everything. and just snap this into every corner here. There we go. So now we have a lawn there as well. Oh, missed a spot. Missed a spot. You can go to here. You can go to here. Perfect. There we go. So now we've got a parking lot, our entrance. We got the 9 holes. Okay. Now what I got to do is place our flag poles. We don't need all this. We don't need all this. I just need... Oh, no. I just need a single... Well, I think the game crashed because now we're in an ocean screen. So let me get this back up and running and see how far we've lost. Oh, yeah, the game's gone. Okay. Here we go. Okay, loading back in. We didn't actually lose anything. I will say, whenever I load into the game, I have this lighting. The moment I unpause it, that lighting disappears, but this lighting is so good. I wish I could figure out how to make this lighting permanent. But for now, we're just going to leave it as it is and keep it on pause because look how pretty that looks, even though there's nothing here yet. Let's actually just use the eyedropper tool because we placed one right here. I can just grab this one. And I need to place one in each of these. So we have 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Nope, that was 4. Here's 3. 4. That's something. Here's 5, I think. Then this is 6. This was 7. Then we have 8. And then we have 9. Okay. Now, I think before I do any kind of trees or anything, I also think we need some kind of pathway. I wish we had dirt pathways. We unfortunately do not. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to have a pathway. Turn everything off. We're going to have a pathway come off of here. Continuous curve. And loop around here to kind of the entrance there. Then we'll have a pathway that kind of loops down and over to here. Okay, and also there will be another kind of entrance point here for this road for those who want to get off at that point. Then we've got the third, which will come kind of down and over like this. Again, this will be another exit there. Then here to here will be 4. So we're just going to go like this and like this. So there's 4. Then 5 needs to go over to here. And I think for 5, what we're going to do... Can I pier just straight across? I can. And like use the pier as like a bridge. Because that will bring people to that section if they can get to it. So we could... send a path kind of like along through here. Right? So there's 5. Then we got to get from 5 to 6. This one's pretty easy. We're just going to go like this. Then 6 to 7, you have to go over this road. So what I'm going to do is have a built-in crosswalk here. Okay. Then 7 to 8 is there. So this is going to come over this way. Like this. There's 8. And then 8 to 9 will go from here to here. Okay. Then when you finish hole 9, you can come back around and connect back up to the road there, or you can go over this direction and connect up this way. There we go. All right, so there's the golf course. Now it's going to need a ton of trees. Before we do that, let's also go ahead and just add a little extra here. I think that this building is going to look better if we just cap it off with a little road going all the way around, and then we pull out these surfaces. This truly changes things. I didn't really realize how much extending the surfaces just makes the building feel like it's supposed to fit there. It's great. Do we need anything else? Anything else before we go further? I don't think we do. The only thing I could think of would be if we were to do some kind of like driving range. What if we brought this road straight on out from here? Straight on down. Let's just bring this down to 4. and then bring it straight back in. And I need it to be at the 90 down there. Okay. How does that look? It's not perfect. I think if I brought this in, there we go. Yep. All right. Now with that, you know what? It's still not. I want it to be like this, like a perfect rectangle. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to place some additional parking in here. Perpendicular alley parking. Yep. Let's see if we can do this. I want to place one here, place another one right next to it. We'll place a third next to that. Okay, that works, that works. Then we're going to have to surface this. Let's do pavement number 1. We'll surface right behind. Right in front, we'll do some more grass. We also need grass in this little guy. And I think right here we also need grass. Let's go ahead and do this. And place grass all the way along this front side. We'll put bushes and trees there as well. Okay, so there's your kind of entrance to this area. Now we need the driving range. So let me go ahead and erase all these trees. I think what we do is this. Let's use the covered parking lot, the solar panel covered parking lot. No, that's not what I want. Maybe this? Yes. All right, this is the motorcycle parking lot. But what I'm going to use it for is I'm going to place 4 of them next to each other. And they're going to function as like our driving range spot that you hit off from, whatever that's called. And we are going to use this corner. We're going to send it out. Send it over quite far. I got to be mindful of where that road is going to be. So maybe it goes to here. And then it's going to come back in. Just like this. And there's our big driving range. Okay. Let's expand this road a little bit just to get it out of the way. Okay. Driving range, trees around it. It won't be in the way. Okay, I think what I have to do now is just place a ton of trees. But first, isn't there a part of the Japanese school is a fence? Japanese town school. What is this item? Right here. What do we think that is? Can I just select this? School props ball fence. Okay, hold on. Yes. Okay, place them individually in a straight line. Advanced line tool. Don't randomize. Wall to wall. No, that's what I want. I want wall to wall. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to go to here. Then this will come this way. And then this will go from here straight on down to here. Just like so. Now, we just got to expand this a little bit so that it falls right into the corners. And the little gaps are okay. But now we've got our driving range. From back here, it looks a little crazy. Once we have the trees in there, we're going to be all set. Okay, tree time. Well, almost. Hold on. One more thought. Let's reduce the size of this. Let's erase these trees right here. And we're going to actually turn all of this into grass. There we go. So now we've got we have a country club. Like, that is nice. And then when we build these larger, more fancy neighborhoods around it, it's going to make much more sense. All right. I think what we got to do now is just fill this with trees, because without trees, this doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to jump into a time lapse. Let's just go ahead and place down a ton of trees. Okay, now we've got tons of trees throughout here. I did a little bit of just like kind of basic, lines of trees around the driving range, but then inside of the main golf course, I decorated our small little parking lot, right? That looks nice, give it a little bit of greenery. And then my goal was to just differentiate the different holes from one another by the trees surrounding them. So each hole now has its own set of trees surrounding it. Some where they're really close together, I put a bunch of these small little bushes or flowers just to kind of blend the different surfaces together. But now you can clearly see which one is which. You can kind of move all the way through the golf course, cross over the river. There's a few small parts where there's like tiny extra detail, like this little, wait, where's my mouse? There we go. Like this little head here. And over here at this point, there's these little, piles of rocks. And then I also used rocks as a way to protect the people golfing. I just got to go the regular view. The other view is not working. So if anybody goes off the road, they would hit the rocks or the trees, but everybody who's golfing is going to be protected. So now we've got a nice, pretty decent golf course, 4 ponds in it and everything, and a few neighborhoods. Let's go ahead and give this its own district. I think we're just going to name this district after the golf course, and then other districts can kind of form around it. We're going to come straight across to here, straight over to here, and straight on down. This is going to be called, what was the name of this building? Oasis Kitchen? Oasis Golf Club. All right, so there's our Oasis Golf Club. Ooh, I think that looks really nice. All right, what I want to do, we're going to go ahead and unpause. What I want to do is I want to just finish out these 2 sections. I think having them butt up against the golf course is going to make the golf course even look better. So let me just go ahead and start doing that. Are they a part of a district at all? No. At the moment, they're not. So they're kind of their own little section here. Let's go ahead and clear that extra bit. That's unnecessary. And I guess this whole area could be a different district. I'm wondering if Orson Hills goes up to here instead. Right? So that's now Orson Hills. Then we have this kind of center section here that you can go through. Still leaves the riverfront open. I have some ideas for what we could do here. We're not going to call this Kent Square. Who just chirped? Ralph Anderson. It's a terrible name. Brett Noble. Okay, we'll call this Noble Square. We'll do Noble Square right here. There's not even a square in it, but all we got to really fill out is this little corner of Orson Hill and then really this section here of Noble Square. This is going to be kind of a mix of what we've got going on down here in Cedar Junction and a little bit of what's happening in Orson Hill, just so that we're kind of blending the styles. Now, what do we have over here? These are waterfront. They're all relatively the same. These look like they might be the Southwest, which I really enjoy the way those look. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and send this road right here with grass and trees on all the sides, because this is just going to be, very basic residential. We want 90-90. Great. Let's turn off the snap to zoning cell, because that seems to always cause things to get messed up. And that'll be it. It's nothing crazy, but it's just enough that we can get some decent zoning in here. So let's go ahead and do the Southwest style. And I'm not going to hand place any of these. These are all just going to zone in like they would by default. I think that's fine. We'll do this here. We'll definitely get ones around this section. And I think we will have them all along Anchor Street. I think along the main drag, I would be fine if we did just a little bit of business. Let's just do Southwest and see what zones in. I'm curious. I like how tall, like how far back that one goes. I'm curious if we'll get similar things throughout here, since we also know that we need more commercial to unlock some more buildings. Let's go ahead and fill in some of these guys with commercial. Excuse me, office. We need more office. And then right here will just be more office as well. The houses don't go all that way back. Once there's a few trees in there, they'll be fine. There is going to be some water damage. There's nothing we can do about it until all that water subsides. You're just going to be stuck with it. You're just going to have to get into it. Let's do a quick little tree brush. Increase the strength to 75, but reduce the size to 40. Perfect. So that'll all zone in real nice. Now we have this center drag here, which I think is becoming too narrow to really support any more business. But if I am looking at this, they might be the same. This might be a little bit longer, or that might be just an illusion because that road is angled. We do have a subway stop in here, which currently has 19 passengers waiting. This is going to start having more passengers, 25. Like, they can actually start getting places now. Let's go ahead and upgrade it. I think this already has said upgrade that now has 23. I think I want to maybe just do like a big promenade almost. Like, we've got so many trees around here. I think if we were to get rid of all the trees that are right here in the middle, which there was a few that were in the road, whoopsie. This is what I don't like, though, is when they all kind of look the same, but at the same token, it's kind of like a strip mall. I just think I like it when it's kind of connected in this way, but then when we have repeats again, it does look strange to me. So let's do this. Let's place a path right here. Then use move it to grab this corner and just back that up even further. Okay. Instead of using those, let's do base game right here. That's the same again. So let's get rid of this as well. Base game right here. Delete these all at the same time so we can hopefully get something larger. Better yet, you know what? You need office. There's some office options. And then we'll do this one here as a base game one as well. Because those have drive-thrus. That looks pretty nice. Okay, so we'll get a few offices there. I think this center area here, we're just going to turn it into a promenade. Let's grab like a fun tile surface. And let's do this. Let's see how this goes. If we were to send this up and around, send it over to here, around the outside, and send it all the way back down. How's that look? It's really not too bad. It's different, but I don't know what else I would place there. I'm partially tempted to do this as well. Let's go into the better bulldozer. Let's remove this fence from the outside, and let's remove this surface as well as this surface as well as this surface. Same thing over here. Remove these three surfaces, and then remove this fence that's on here as well. Now let's just make this whole thing. Anarchy it on. Make the whole thing covered with that surface. Now we can put fountains and all kinds of other stuff in here. We'll figure that out as we go. Oop, that's actually not that good. Hold on. I need that to come further out. There we go. Yeah, we'll figure that out as we go, but I think for now, that's fine with me. Gives us a little something unique. And maybe this just stays empty right here, this little tiny corner. I don't know. We'll slap down some trees and call it a day. We'll do 2 oaks. We'll do some hickories. Throw down a few of these guys. And then right in this spot, my wash machine's done. In this spot, I need to figure out what to fill it with. I feel like it just looks so strange having everything else filled around it. Is it too close to bring more of the low density row homes? I think it is. But I wouldn't mind trying to maybe get 1 or 2 larger buildings along here. What does that do for me? Oh, that's... If I get rid of this guy, can I get something to fill in a 3? Okay, we got 2 larger ones. Come on, give me 1 more large one. It's not going to happen. All right. That's not going to work. Let's do this. Bring this all the way over here. Clear that out. This can all be little residential. And then along the back, I will just do some waterfront housing. Just to fill in all that space. And we'll do a little northeast shop right here on the corner. Can I just get 1? Is that possible? Or maybe we'll do like a little dentist office or something. Because we need some more commercial. All right, let's let this fill in. While it's doing that, I am going to place down some more trees right here. Just like that. We'll do the hickories as well. Although I'm not seeing any of these seaside houses zone, which is not a good sign. Not a single thing has zoned here. It's 5 back. Let's clear out this search. Let's just do it by hand. I don't know why that keeps happening. You know what I actually want? I want some terraced housing right here. It's in between. Because it's not yet single family homes, but it's also not a row home in the sense of these ones over here. It's still a row home, but just it looks different. Let's do I mean, they're all basically the same. I think we just do a nice strip of these and just see kind of what happens. These are all different levels of the same guy. I'm fine with that. Is there a lot depth of 3? There is. Bam. Just like a developer came, built all the same houses right along this trolley road. Now, they don't have their own parking, which isn't ideal. And so I am going to kind of repurpose this small section here for a parking lot. I think we do want just one little parking lot for the residents next across the street. And it kind of complements the firehouse. Now, I will say Noble Square doesn't have any services. So I think we need to assign this guy to the golf club, Noble Square, and Orson Hill. We also have the elementary school, but I don't think that's going to work. We could assign the high school to both of these. We also have a police station over here, small police station. They seem to be okay. So we're going to assign them to both of those. But this guy does need its own elementary school. Let's place the elementary school here. It's going to be a small one. That's fine. What we'll do is instead of having that there, let's curve it along the backside here. And we're going to send it straight up to here. Then here we'll curve it and head it in. And now we don't have anarchy on for that. So we should be reconnected. There we go. All right. Reconnected. All looking good. I think if we put just a few more trees around this guy, then this is going to look much better. Now, I do realize I delayed in limiting this to just Noble Square. So we're probably going to have too many people here, which would mean we're going to want an extension. They do have an extension wing. I mean, I could delete houses. We could delete houses and have 2 extension wings, which I think we're going to do. And then what is this? A gymnasium? Quite large. Arguably too large for this neighborhood. So that's the high school. Or the elementary school. It's just going to function here in Noble Square. I guess in now saying all that, Oasis Golf Club also needs a high school. No, it needs an elementary school. Now, Orson Hill Post Office, it's got some more capacity. It can function in both of those. Let's get an elementary school in here, and then I think we've done it. How many people live here? Only 77 residents, and their wealth is wretched. What's crazy to me is like this has just got like regular little row homes, and they're wealthy, but over here, wretched. I don't even know if I can build a high school that's going to support that few of students. Not high school, elementary school. Because this only does 400. EE Elementary School does 100. That's actually not too bad. The problem is, where would it go? There's no room for this. You know what? I don't hate the idea of putting it right here. Let's see if we can move this surface far enough back. Just really move that surface out of the way for a second. All right, EE Elementary School. Immediately pause and assign this only to this district. What is this upgrade? Additional space for more students. And it just turns that front area into additional building. Okay, I think that's going to work perfectly. We'll go ahead and unpause. Let's go ahead and fix this. Send it all the way around the side here. Looking nice, looking nice. Now we have a school for this area. It's going to have very few students. And funny enough, they're walking all the way over because the paths don't actually connect through anything. But they're going to walk all the way over here. That's perfect. And I think the Oasis Golf Club is done. Oh, wrong mode. There we go. Look at that. All right. Now we've got how many residents? A total of 74. 32 total households. Absolutely wretched. This does 23 employees. Generally pretty good attractiveness. Got some parking over here at the driving range. Built out this new section of Noble Square. So now this is all just starting to feel a bit more finished, which I like. Now in the next part, I do want to focus on the shoreline here. I think that's kind of our next piece. And then we also got to think about the medical university. I want that over here somewhere. Haven't exactly figured out where. And eventually we're going to come back to Brightwater. I know I asked you what should go here. Everyone said Office Park. I completely forgot to work on it. So eventually we'll come back to it. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.